I have always been cynical and unconcerned about love and relationship until I saw this true life story on the newspapers years back. There was a boy called Fola. He was around 7, from the Yoruba tribe, had a friend Shola in the same neighborhood from the same Yoruba tribe of Nigeria. They lived in Lagos. Fola and Shola were just kids of 7 and 5 years of age respectively, and their both parents were also friends, and seeing the closeness of the both children, they encouraged the friendship and even called each other's in-laws jokingly, as Fola and Shola were just kids and not even up to the age of even considering marriage. As years went by, Fola and Shola still maintained the friendship they had, at a level that they became too fond of each other. What was known as an ordinary friendship between two young kids became serious to the extent they couldn't stay a minute without hearing each other's voice or seeing each other's faces. Luckily, Fola at the age of 18 got a scholarship to study outside Nigeria to further his education, and that was his university education. When he broke the news to Shola, she was happy for him, but deep down she knew she was going to miss him terribly. So did he. But education is important. Education first, before any other thing. They always said this to each other. Fola's parents were more than happy that their son was going to further his studies overseas. It was a huge excitement for the whole family. Fola was happy, but also sad, because he will not be seeing his beloved Shola for some years, but he just could not help it. As time may have it, the day came and Fola was already on his way to the airport. He was escorted by Shola, his father and his mom. For Shola, it was the saddest day of her life, seeing someone she cares so much about leaving to the foreign land. Her heart sank, just like the Titanic to the deep ocean floor. As they were saying goodbyes, his mom prayed quietly for him. His dad wished him a safe journey, and out of Shola's eyes came drops of tears. Fola hugged her, promised her he was coming back before she knew it. As soon as he was done with his schooling, they both said goodbyes. As he was already boarding the flight, words could not explain how sad Fola felt, knowing he was going to miss the most important people in his life. He said to himself, education first, and that gave him courage, knowing that he was living for his own good and that of his family and friend, to make them proud of him. So, Fola traveled, and after his university education, he was opportuned to the privilege of still furthering his education. That made him stay even longer. It was already 7 years, and Shola herself was already done with her education as well. And as she expected, Fola was back, looking more matured and handsome, and was every woman's dream. His parents welcomed him with a wildly open arms. He has already received an appointment later to work with a company in Nigeria. He noticed Shola and her family were no more in the neighborhood. He asked his mother her whereabouts, but the only reply he got was his mother's silence, the same as his father. And then the next statement was the mother telling Fola of a beautiful young girl they have arranged for Fola to get married to. Fola refused. Yes, he declined. He refused to accept the arrangement made by his parents and went in search of his heartthrob. When he found her, she herself was shocked to see him. She fainted. When she woke up, she was more than excited. She hugged and kissed him. She now told him about the things that happened in his absence, and especially the fact that their both families were now like cat and dog. After she had told him everything that happened, he was very devastated, but that did not change anything about how they both felt for each other. Fola's father completely forbidden anything that would relate his household to Shola's household. It was terrible because Fola knew his intention of ever getting married to Shola will be frustrated as a result of this, as in African homes, if your marriage is not endorsed by both parents, it's not going to work. Fola has started working after some years, and due to the pressure of his parents, the parents have succeeded in bringing the young lady into his life, but out of frustration in courtship, he completely ignored her and treated her like a stranger that he saw her to be. And Shola herself had moved on with her life. Fola's parents were hoping for their son to move on too and forget about Shola. The mystery. It was exactly in the month of July 7th, the year 2007, at around 12:16 a.m. Fola was asleep, talking to himself. I miss you, I love you, Shola. He was saying this continuously. He got up, still sleep talking. He walked out of the house. Shola also, on the other hand, started doing the same thing, talking to herself, saying the same thing, repeating the same words to herself. I miss you, I love you, Fola. She came out of the house, heading to the same place Fola was also heading. They both met at the junction. The people that actually witnessed this incident were more than touched. It was very unbelievable. And there, at that moment, Fola and Shola did not need anyone to tell them they were actually meant to be together. Words of the incident spread like wildfire. The both parents had no choice than to settle their scores and let the children get married. The moral lesson. The moral lesson of this story is that the parents should always allow their children to marry whom they love and want to marry. Parents should stop arranged marriages for their children. It does not help. Thank you for staying to the end of this video. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talking Live.